So today I'm going to be breaking down a concept that I've been looking into for the past couple of days. It's called the spiritual algorithm, right? I feel like in 2026 coming up, we all need to really be more intentional about how we move, what we respond to, and how we react to things. And I think that this is the key to changing your reality. If you want to live a better life, if you want to make more money, if you want to change your circumstances, you have to change your spiritual algorithm. And the spiritual algorithm, we're going to get into what it really means. A spiritual algorithm is the invisible rules set by which your attention, beliefs, emotional patterns, and actions determine what experiences, people, and opportunities repeat and amplify in your life. So the same way that you have a social media feed and it delivers to you certain things is the same way that life is responding to you on an emotional level. So it's not just like, it's not about the morals. It's not about you personally, but it's about the patterns. Everything has a certain pattern to it. And once you're able to identify the patterns, now you're able to break the loop and now you can change your reality. So what you constantly interact with intentionally through your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions becomes what the system learns to deliver to you externally. So let's go a little bit deeper in understanding how this works, right? I'm going to give you two different parallels on life and social media. So on social media, what do you typically do? You pause on certain content, you engage emotionally, and you interact repeatedly. And the system, the algorithm is basically assuming that you want more of this. Like, oh, you like this? This is where you're stopping at. This is what you're watching. This is what you're interacting with. I'm going to give you more of this. However, in life, whatever you dwell on certain thoughts, whenever you are emotionally reacting to certain situations and you rehearse certain narratives in your life, reality assumes this is what's relevant. So it's bringing up things to you that are relevant to you as you're interacting with them. So you are basically telling life, this is what's most relevant to me based on the interaction that I am giving it. So if you find yourself in situations that are unfavorable and you continuously interact in those unfavorable situations, reality is going to give you more of that because that is what you're making relevant in your reality. Things are always going to happen in life, but the things that you make relevant are the things that are going to show up mostly in your life. So what actually feeds this spiritual algorithm? Let's break it down real quick. It's not just about positive thinking, right? Because that's surface level. That's just the first stage. Positive thinking gets the train going, but it doesn't keep the momentum running. So the algorithm of life is trained by four inputs. It's attention, emotion, interpretation, and behavior. Attention is what you repeatedly notice. Emotion is what you what you react to strongly. Interpretation is the meaning you assign, and behavior is the actions that you take or the actions you don't take. So what happens is most people, what they try to do is they try to change one of these inputs without changing the others. So you may be trying to change your attention, but if you're not changing your emotion, interpretation, or behavior, then everything else goes out the window. You can't have one without the other. You have to focus on, if you can't focus on all of them, do one thing at a time. Once you change your attention, now you start working on changing your emotion. You can't have one without the other. This actually brings me to a point, and I'm sure you've heard this before. We've all heard the saying that energy flows where attention goes. Well, I think that is an incomplete statement. I believe that energy flows where attention goes with emotional charge and belief reinforcement. So it only works when you reinforce the things that you truly wish to see in your reality. Because it's one thing to pay attention to something, but then it's not your main stream of attention. It's not going to continue to flow to you. You're going to get little nuances of that stream that you really want to flow on, but what you put your attention on is what's going to be your main attraction. So you could think about abundance all day, but if it's paired with anxiety, comparison, and desperation, then you're still training a scarcity-based algorithm. So even if that goes back to training the 4 inputs, even if you're speaking highly, right? Even if you are doing things at a high level, if you still carry certain aspects with you, with like example, the anxiety, the comparison, the desperation, then you're going to get more of that other thing that you don't want in your reality, because you're tying the two together, and it just doesn't work that way. The universe isn't responding to the word abundance. It's responding to the state you're in while you're thinking it. So you can say abundance and you can say peace and all of these things, but if you're not internalizing these things, then of course you're going to get the outcomes that you have, or that you've been having for so long. But here are some things that you can do. Here are some thought exercises that you can help to start to change your current algorithm. So the first thing you want to do is the pattern audit. Ask yourself these 3 things. What themes keep repeating in my life? What emotional state am I usually in right before they appear? And what story am I telling myself when they happen? These 3 things, whenever you're getting into the process of doing something, are going to help you align more clearly with the thing that you truly wish to see in your life. Because the thing you have to understand is patterns are feedback. They're not punishment. Once you stop playing the victim in all of your experiences, now you can start to extract the lessons and start to shift your perspective and change your reality. The second thing you want to do is the engagement test. For one day, pay attention to these 3 key factors. What triggers the strongest emotional reactions? What drains your energy the fastest? And what you can't stop thinking about. Like, what's that one thing that you just can't stop thinking about? Now, once you're able to do this, right, now you're able to pinpoint the things that aren't serving you, so that way you can start to make the proper adjustments. And that is what your algorithm is currently optimized for. This is helping you to identify what your algorithm is optimized for, so that way you can start to shift to optimize your algorithm for a higher capacity of living. The third thing, the observer shift. Instead of asking yourself, how do I change this? Ask yourself, what part of me keeps feeding this? The moment you observe without reacting, you stop feeding the loop. So when you have no engagement, there is no amplification. So instead of trying to change something or try to force something to change, ask yourself, what part of me keeps feeding this thing? Because sometimes resistance makes stronger, right? The more that you cause more friction and resistance on something that you want to change, the more that you draw it to you, because you're telling the universe, this is what matters to me. It doesn't matter about the intention that you have. All of the other factors matter. You're making it relevant to you, and you're making it relevant to the universe that this is what you want. But you have to start shifting that. Here are some ways that you can start changing your spiritual algorithm. These are practical steps. This is where discipline comes in, not force. So the first thing you want to do is change what you linger on. It's not about what you see, it's about what you stay with. So don't chase better thoughts. Just stop feeding the unhelpful ones. You don't need to have a better way of thinking. You just need to stop feeding. Well, you do need to have a better way of thinking, but in order to start having a better way of thinking, you have to stop feeding the things that are unhelpful to you. Attention withdrawal is more powerful than affirmation. Because even though you're affirming something from a state of desperation, because you don't want to think that way anymore. But when you just say, I release the thought that is no longer serving me, instead of trying to affirm, I think positively, that is more powerful and more reaffirming or reassuring. Number 2, regulate before you refrain. If you're dysregulated, every thought trains the wrong system. So here's what you want to do. Calm yourself first. Then clarify. Then set the intention. Sometimes you have to stop the momentum in order for you to really see what's going on in the landscape, and then you set the intention and you execute. Because when you're trying to just go with the expectation of something changing, you're actually building up more resistance and you're making the change harder. And number 3, live as if you're training a system, because you are. So ask yourself throughout the day, if today we're teaching reality how to treat me, what lesson am I giving? If today I am teaching reality how to treat me, what lesson am I giving it? And this question alone starts to change your behavior, because you're not going to give reality something that you don't want to receive. And so that creates the intention. That creates the understanding. So now you're not just reacting to everything, you're actually responding in a way that you want the world to respond to you. And I'm going to end it with this. The spiritual algorithm is the feedback loop between your inner state and your outer reality. Whatever you constantly engage with becomes what life learns to deliver. Reality doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you train it to expect. This, in a nutshell, is the spiritual algorithm. Take these lessons, rewatch this video if you need to, and utilize these things in your life today so you can start 2026 in the right way. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. And I truly believe we do better when we grow together. So let's continue to grow with one another. And let me know in the comment sections what you got from this video and what are your thoughts on this video as well. And until next time, peace and progress.